Well, I had my stream die again today. I don't know what's going on with my internet. People were out working on the lines recently, and I don't know, because I'm like hardwired in with an Ethernet cord, so I don't know. I don't know what to do. I do live in the boonies, I think. I used to live in Seattle, now I live in the boonies. Oh cool, I got some of my stuff back. Okay, good luck. Good luck. Isn't that nice? I got some of my stuff back. I need to go get more stuff. Did I get everything back? What does this do? Okay, let's equip these. And then I think this wand is better. Yes. Superior preserved head. Thank goodness, I got my stuff back. I needed my belt back to put all this stuff in it. Oh man. Okay. Now let's just go back to town one more time. This is why you store your gold. In case you die, then your gold is stored away. It's like putting it in the bank for a rainy day. Oh, and I got all my gold back. Whew. Whew. Maybe I should put some of it in here. Deposit. Oh boy. There's no way to just type this in, is there? Okay, that's enough. Okay, the team's almost all back together, thank goodness.
Allow me to advise you.
You don't need to advise me. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm gonna sell those identify scrolls.
It is an honor to serve you.
Do. Okay, back into that layer we go. And hope for the best.
I need mana.
I need mana. Okay, I think 8 is all the skeletons we can have. Yes, okay. I want them to go first. Oh, these beetles. With their electricity. Y'all go ahead. Goo pile. Ew. Oh, gross. And it spits out poo gas. It's poisoning poo gas. What's that? Oh, that's to another level. Okay. This is really gross. Oh my good gracious. These do not look like maggots to me. It's disgusting. Why would you store whatever it is that I'm looking for down here? I don't like this at all. What is happening? Oh, some urns for me to kick over and blow up people. Sorry. It's like we don't run down here. You just don't know what's lurking around a corner. Okay, everybody, you go attack it, please. Okay, I will just hit it myself. Okay. You all go. Ugh. It's like they can't see around the corners. I guess they can't see at all their skeletons, huh? Alright, so continue our map quest journey. That started me. What is happening? Is there more stuff to kill? How are there bats in here? What is going on in here? Oh. It's my golem. Gross. This is really gross. MapQuest better be paying me a lot of money for mapping this one out. Uh-oh. I'm gun shy now with these things. Oh, there's a bug. I stepped on it on purpose. Gross. Okay. Gold. Okay, okay, okay. Anything? We've been down, we've been up here. This is where I died, I think. This is where I died. Thankfully, it recovered my body. Oh, hello. Y'all take care of those, please. Go on. Ooh. Okay, everybody just... I usually really appreciate the skeletons, but it's like they're just not wanting to help. Paige is about to die. Okay, retreat, retreat, retreat. Paige, come on. We're gonna try to attack them from the other way. Maybe they don't know we're coming this way. Oh shit. I try to act smart there. Oh, welcome back. Oh yes, I lived in Seattle for the past 4 years, and now I live in the boonies. I left Seattle for the quiet life in the country, where the internet's not very good. Left the bustling city life. Like Stardew Valley, I have moved out to the valley. I live in Pelican Town. That's what I was saying about Seattle, is I used to live there, and the internet was pretty good. And now it's okay. Now the internet's just okay. Alright, I gotta go to town and sell some junk. I moved because we were offered too good of a deal to pass up. Well, first of all, we lived pretty much we were downtown Seattle living, and it was really great. We moved there in 2019, and then COVID happened, and obviously things shut down as they should have, and but it was just kind of like, oh, we're in this new city, we can't do anything. We went out and hiked a lot, and loved that, and made some really good friends. Yes, I am married. Is that surprising? Have you always lived in the Seattle area? Gotcha. But yeah, I was, you know, we were paying so much money to live in a small space, and we were able to move somewhere where there was no cost of living and be closer to family. And so after being in Seattle for a while, I was like, well, I've seen everything I wanted to see here. I made some really great friends, so I can come back and visit. I've hiked. We went up to Victoria and to Vancouver, and so it was just kind of like, yeah, time to go. Yeah, my grandpa lives south of Seattle, but so I grew up visiting Seattle a lot, so it wasn't like I've never been here before.
I am overburdened.
He's overburdened like always.
I can't carry anymore.
So basically, Dare the Giver, in this game, you collect loot and you take it back to town and you sell it because you can't expand your inventory. Oh, okay. Yes. South of Seattle. Oh yeah, this game is old. It came out in 2000. But this is the Resurrected edition, so it's got, like, if you want to see, like, the original graphics look like this. So this is what it originally looks like. Oh, Canada, duh. So this is what the game originally looked like, and then they made it look better this way. That's cool. I really enjoyed my time in Victoria and Vancouver. I wish we had spent more time going up there, but obviously with COVID and everything, it's like, is the border open? Can we get across? We took the Victoria Clipper up to Victoria. That was a lot of fun. I would definitely go back. Is it? I don't know. It was bustling when we were there. No, it was when we were in Vancouver. It was the Festival of Lights, and that was really pretty. And then when we were in Victoria, it seemed like something was happening there too. What do I do? What do I do now? I do contract work for some AI companies, part-time. I visited Vancouver in July or August of last year. And then we went to Victoria in September of last year. And then we moved because we were trying to see all the places we wanted to see before we left the area. I am new here on Twitch. No, this was mostly just a way for me to do something different. to try a hobby, I guess. My brother and I will occasionally stream and watch each other. But no, this was like, well, I have this time. Oh, I don't mind old people. They're usually, well, at least the old people I know are pretty nice, so. Have you always lived in Victoria? Yeah, it's a hobby. Do you stream?
Yes?
Blessings to you.
Okay. Working for the government sounds like a very secure job. Do you like what you do for work? I feel like that's like a question people ask at parties. Do you like what you do for work? What do you do for work? Tell me what you do. Tell me what you do with your life. Everybody wants to know. Okay. Yes, when I was in Seattle, I was working for an AI startup, and we had an office, and then COVID happened, and we were able to start working from home, which was great, but learning a new job while working from home was definitely challenging. I had a lot of imposter syndrome. Yeah. I get not wanting to leave your family and friends. My brother and sister-in-law just moved to the area, so I'm very excited. They moved from Utah, so this will be the first time we've been able to live near each other since 2017. Yeah, honestly, Dare the Giver, I feel like I worked more hours working from home than I did when I would go into the office. So, because like I was just like, well, I can keep going, like, right? Like, I don't need to catch my bus home. I can just keep working. And it was, yeah, it was a slog some days, as I'm sure you maybe have felt. Maybe you never feel that. I don't know. But I was like, man. Yeah, you know, honestly, I didn't mind my bus ride. It was just getting up early and then getting home late. Wrangling Stars? I don't think so at this time. If I think of something, I will send it in my reply to your message. So yeah, I can't think of anything off of the top of my head, but I'll read your message, and if I have a question, I'll just send it in there. Oh shoot, run. And thanks for stopping by. Wrangling Stars, do you want to describe the challenge? Or the thing? If you're still here, maybe you're not still here. Apparently there's, from what I gather, I need to look back at the message, but reenacting a scene from the end of Men in Black, the movie, with squishing bugs. Oh, okay, that would be great. Oh boy. A Chris? A K-R-I-S? Chris Kringle? What all did it... Oh. I have room for some stuff. I'm gonna get this ring. For sure. Oh shoot, I forget... Damage reduced by 1. Okay, well that's not that great. What is a Chris? Oh, that looks like a sacrificial dagger. Or what I imagine.
I can't carry anymore.
You can't carry anything. Oh my gosh. I hear something slurpy. Ew. You can tell I'm new to Twitch because I don't know how to read and play at the same time. When there's all this stuff happening on the screen. Okay. Let's finish our map quest. Everybody? No, I was not expecting it either. I guess Wrangling Stars, how did this challenge come up? If you can answer that. That's, oh, I'm sorry, that was based off a TikTok challenge. You answered my question before I asked it. Okay, lantern flies. I don't even know what those are. Are those like lightning bugs? Lantern flies? Everybody, go get it. I understand your friends hating bugs. I hate the bugs in this game. How ironic that you are doing this challenge when I have to fight 500 million thousand bugs that are electrical in this game for some reason. That kick my ass. Yeah, I want to see some of the other people's videos. I don't know where I'm going to find that many bugs. I just mowed the pasture and the grass yesterday, so maybe that's going to stir all the bugs up. No, it's all good. I'm glad you stopped by. That I don't think I would have ever been asked this question today, so... Oh, fiddlesticks. Oh my gosh. These, narrow passageways are not good for my giant team of skeletons. These poor bats down here. We have a lot of stink bugs out here. I don't know if that's what they're called everywhere. So I'll probably step on a lot of stink bugs. And also cave crickets. Have you all seen cave crickets? They're like the grasshoppers with 6 legs. They look kind of like spiders. I don't like them either. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have someone film me. I don't have anything. I could ask the cats to hold my phone. Hold really still while I step on these bugs. They probably want to jump in and help out smashing bugs. They catch bugs. Yeah, they are scary. I have some in the basement if you want to come hang out. We had them in Kansas too. Yeah, they're Oh, I for sure will.
I can't carry anymore.
He has filmed me. He actually just filmed me. I got the Resident Evil 4 Remake Collector's Edition, and I unboxed that on my YouTube channel, and I asked him to film it. So
Stay a while and listen.
he's used to that. What is this ring? Ring of Health. No, that's not very good. And get rid of some of these smaller ones. Oh, yes. Yeah, if you could send those, or you could just send a couple of the links, and maybe it'll recommend. That would be awesome, Wrangling Stars. Thank you for helping out with that. Yeah, he is really cool. He's a geologist, so I'd never met a geologist before, and the only other geologists I know are his coworkers. Okay. Don't know if you can post links. I thought it'd be easier. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so I feel like we need to find the final floor of this disgusting, nasty maggot lair. That's literally what this place is called. Maggot lair. I don't know if you guys saw that. Oh, there it is. Yes, he is working. Since we moved, he also works from home. Oh, well. It's cool. It's nice, it's nice to meet a fellow gay. Okay, so I was like thinking of the places we went out in Victoria. Oh. Well, it is giving me a picture of what you look like in my mind, I guess. You know, because it's like you chat with people on here and you're always like, I wonder what they look like and what they like to do when they're not watching people stream or whatever, and you're also 27. So, and you've played more Final Fantasy games than I have. You are ahead of me on the Final Fantasy train. Oh my god. Oh no, not those. I didn't know that. I thought maybe your husband was in your YouTube video. You have like... Sadly, it's just me. No, I don't think in any videos. No offense taken. No, he doesn't usually like to be on the other side of the camera. Let's see, what is he like? He is quiet and tall and very, pretty nice. Unless he's driving and has road rage. Yeah, I think he's in some of my Instagram stuff, but I don't know if I have my Instagram linked. I'm trying to think of the last picture we took together. It might have been We went to Iceland last August, and we might have taken a picture there together. I will have to put my Instagram on there eventually. I think if you look for CWY of the Tiger, I think is what my Instagram is. I think that's what my Instagram is. Professional sounding, huh? I think that's what it is. Thank you. Yeah, it's based off of Eye of the Tiger, the song. Since I was born in the 80s and I like 80s music, and those are my initials. Very interesting story, isn't it? No, it's not that interesting. Yeah, if you're on... Do you have Instagram? Okay, this place is a giant maze. A giant messy maze. Is Boomer something different in Canada? Oh my god, ooh, what is that? That is massive. Okay, we killed... Oh, gross. Well, the skeletons killed that gigantic gross thing.
I'm overburdened.
Then no, because I'm a millennial, because millennial is from 1980 or 81 until 1995 or 6. So, no, I'm part of the millennial cohort. Okay.
Not in town.
How may I help you?
Staff of Kings, short spear, smoked sphere. What is a smoked sphere? Okay, so I still need the headpiece thing. Sorceress, short spear, okay. A dirk. Healing potion, scale mail.
I can't carry anymore.
You can never carry what I want you to carry. Useless. Okay, the Staff of Kings is what I needed, right?
I can't carry anymore.
Let's finish map questing this out. Take that potion. Paige, how did you already get up here? doing the most, to say the least.
I can't use that. I need mana.
I need mana. Okay, you always need mana.
I need mana. I can't use this yet.
Okay. Can't use this yet. Oh, shoot. Did we get everybody? Watch out for the electricity. L rune. L woods. Okay. Let's go back to town. Identify some things and then sell it at the flea market like we always do.
The Staff of Kings.
Oh.
You astound me, my friend. You have discovered the shaft portion of a Horadric staff. I trust you know how to use a Horadric cube to unite the shaft with its headpiece.
Well, I don't have the headpiece yet, so hold your horses. Oh, no worries at all. I'm sure you are probably, well, maybe you're on break. Or maybe you're off work today.
I can't do that here.
So I work like flexible hours, so I usually work in the mornings and then stream in the afternoons if I want to, or like yesterday I ended up mowing. We moved onto a property that has like a bunch of pasture land, and I was like, I wonder how long it'll take to mow all this. Thankfully we have a riding mower, because it took like 3.5 hours to mow it all. I can't sell this, can I? Yeah. Yes, it is cool. I do like, it's a job that I did before we even moved to Seattle, because it was flexible. Can I not put this over here? No, I have to put it into my private stash, my personal stash. Yeah, I like to get work done in the mornings and then have the afternoons. Well, I will make sure to tell him that. Thank you for the compliment to him. Did I just use that? No. Yeah, he is 6'5". And I'm 5'8". So it's very handy when you're like trying to reach stuff that's high up. So many of our friends would be like, Nate, can you put this on the shelf for me? Nate, can you do this? Awesome. Thank you, Wrangling Stars. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you stuck around. How tall are you, Giver?
Hello.
Hello.
I might do that.
Good day.
Oh, I already have 20 of these scrolls. I don't think there's a rating thing, but okay. You can rate away. Yeah, I'm 5'8". I'm the tallest in my nuclear family. We don't have a very tall family. Yeah, I want to give you something to do. And then you can do the challenge. I don't know if you have a lot of bugs this time of year. Like I said, in Seattle, we didn't have that many bugs. Yeah, so being the shortest, when we moved to Seattle, we sold my car, and then when we moved out here, we just kept the one car, my husband's car, and so whenever I drive or if he drives, we have to like move the seat back and forth because of the height disparity. But thankfully, I don't have to sit on a phone book to reach the pedals or whatever, or to see over the steering wheel. Oh, Fahrenheit, it is 67 right now. It feels warmer than that though, because it's very sunny today. So it is toasty here. It got chilly, actually, so this last weekend on Saturday, we took one of our cats out canoeing. So yeah, 65 Fahrenheit, so I don't know what that is Celsius, but it's pretty warm, and it's very sunny, like there's no clouds, so it's like straight sunshine. Oh no, itchies. Yeah, the bugs, the flowers are out, everything's blooming. Everything's just ready to come to life. Back to life. I'm trying to think, when we were in Victoria, we went out of town to this botanical garden that was really beautiful. I'm sure you have heard of it and probably been there. Nasty. Sure, you can come over and help me pick out my shoes. It's like I do have, I was probably gonna wear my old like tennis shoes that I wear to like mow and stuff in. Yes, Bouchard Gardens. Yep. Yeah, our last day before we caught the Clipper home, we had talked about riding the bus out there, but then it was like we got to rent a car for the day for free, so we just rented a car and drove out there. Do I have a lot of shoes? I was like, working from home, as you know, like when I got my job in Seattle before COVID, I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy some new clothes. And then I got to wear them for like a month. Oh no, what is all this junk? Scroll of time.
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, it was, the gardens were, it was beautiful. I enjoyed it. I went to the Arboretum and the Japanese garden in Seattle a couple of times. And then they had another Japanese garden in Seattle that I went to.
Good day.
I liked to do what I called urban hikes. Yeah, I was like, I have running shoes, I have some dress shoes. I have some slip-ons. I have some like sandal things. How many shoes do you have? You don't like to hike? Yeah, I can show you my my running shoes and my slip-ons after I kill these bad guys. The slip-ons I got, like, I don't even know how long ago. They're Vans. Van slip-ons, you know. 1 second, let me... They're, like, right behind me. Okay. This is what my slip-ons look like. Doo-doo-doo. Can you see? They've got, like, this herringbone pattern. Da-da-da. And they've got this like waffle, you know, I don't know if you can see it in the lighting, but yeah, I've had these for like a long time. And I always loved Vans. And then here's one of my like running shoes. Doo-doo-doo. I got these when we moved to Seattle. And there's like no tread left on the bottom, because of how like all the hills and stuff. And when we moved to Seattle, like I said, we sold my car, so I bussed and I walked everywhere. Yeah, I'd probably wear jeans with the slip-ons. Although today I wore them with shorts. Yeah, my running shoes are falling apart. It's because I ran a lot in them. Well, like in Seattle, like if you are taking public transportation, you better be able to walk, and 'cause sometimes the bus isn't really on schedule, or the light rail was like more on schedule, but it didn't run late. I like to walk though. Oh right, jeans. Yeah. Well. Yes, I will wear some jeans. That's one of, like, there's a whole pair. Like there's another shoe that looks just like that. I have more shoes in my closet, but these are my shoes for like from the entryway. I have a little rack to put shoes on so you don't wear shoes in the house. I don't like people wearing shoes in the house. Okay. Jeans. Jeans and shoes. Yes, there are more shoes in the background. Hold on, I can show you. Do you want to see a few more shoes? It's like a fashion show today.
Hello.
Okay, let me grab some shoes. Wrangling Star, since you're here, you can look at the shoes too if you would like. I'll be right back. I'm also going to go number 1, so it might take me a second. Okay, y'all ready for some shoes? Alright, so first up, I only got one like shoe from each pair, so are these white shoes that I got to go with a specific outfit I bought. I've worn them a couple times. They're very uncomfortable. Like this part would like cut into my ankle, so I think I got them maybe a little too big, but Yeah, some white leather shoes. Worn a couple times. These are some dressy-ish shoes. They've got this texture to make them like a wingtip, and texture back here. These are some old shoes I got when I lived in Kansas City. These are Vessies. I don't know if you've heard of these, Giver or Wrangling Stars. These are waterproof shoes. They look like knit. So they're like woven, but they are waterproof, unless the water, like, obviously if you're stepping into a puddle that goes like above your ankle, then it gets in. But yeah, I got these after moving to Seattle and was out walking all the time. They are decently comfortable, but to like walk lots of miles, I don't think they're the most comfortable. Then I have these old things. These are just some canvas Levi's shoes that are kind of like, I don't know, casual. Definitely not this one. Lots of variety. Yeah, I like never wear all these different shoes I have. Okay, and then this last one is my water shoe. So I wear these when we go out canoeing. I bought them when we went on a rafting trip in Utah with my brother and his wife. They're just... yeah. So the water shoes, do you think the water shoes win? This is blue. I don't know if it looks blue in the light. It's like this really light blue. But these are nice for... okay, not the water shoes. Okay, so this. Yes. This one. Okay. I will set that one aside. It is the clear winner. Thank you for voting in this impromptu. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Levi's. The white ones, like I said, they are not the like kindest to my ankles. I just got another water and I didn't realize how much water I had left in there. You know, I guess I could wear the white shoe on one foot and the Levi on the other foot and just make it mismatched. Or maybe I'll do 2 videos, I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling this weekend. We are supposed to be going to visit my second cousin in a nearby town for a cookout on Saturday. Levi's are the winner for you. Well, hopefully I won't have to walk too far. I'm like, if I just have to go down to the basement to find some of those camel cave crickets. Yeah, I'm looking at these white shoes. I loved them. I loved the way they look. And then I was like, wait, why do my ankles hurt? And I looked down and there was like blood soaking through my sock. Yeah, I'm excited to visit her. I haven't seen her since 2015. One shoe for each, but yeah. Like I said, you've seen the pictures of those cave crickets. They jump really high. They are aggressive and a little scary. I feel like I hit my knuckle on something. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing her. Like, my brother and sister-in-law literally just moved close to us. They got here on Sunday, so they're settling in. And so they're going to come to our place, and then we're going to carpool over out to our cousins and visit her and her husband and have some food. so I don't freak out. Yeah, I don't know if I said this earlier, but I opened up the catio for the cats and there was a wasp in there. I don't know how those wasps, like, how they get in, because we have it pretty well secured, but nature finds a way. Thank you very much. I think it'll be, it'll be a good time. It'll be visiting, catching up, telling family stories. Exactly, yeah. I was talking about with Wrangling Stars earlier. They asked me, like, about squishing bugs, and I was like, I don't usually try to, but if they are like bugs that could hurt my cats, then yeah, I would kill them in a heartbeat. Yeah, wasps, I don't know, they're just nasty to me. Yeah, bees are cool, like, make all the honey, live your life, but wasps seem like vindictive, I don't know. Yeah. Well, the cats have caught, like, the cave crickets before, and they play with them, and they, like, have a good time, right? Like, they're cats. I don't think they understand that certain bugs can hurt them, like sting them, and they've never been stung, thankfully, knock on wood. But I was like, I'll protect my babies. Nothing can hurt them. I think I'm just thinking about that too, because I was like, we would have to try to gather them in one area. Like, the cave crickets like to hide, and so I'm trying to think of how many are in the basement. I would say probably 5 or 6. If I can find them. Like, that's the thing, they like to hide. And then the stink bugs, they can fly. So it might not be that many. Oh, okay. Okay, thanks, Wrangling Stars. I'm sure you probably say that in your message. But, yeah, I was like, that's gonna be a lot for me to smash. So I think in total together, because I've already smashed some of those cave crickets, so they usually, when I go to the basement, because our laundry stuff is in our basement, they like to hide. They like jump away and they hide. So like I said, if I have some other bugs, that would be the total. Yeah, 5 to 6 would be the total. I don't know if I said that already. Okay, that makes sense now. I was like, who is around that many bugs at one time? Like, I try to keep the house pretty clean and free from bugs. And yeah, I'm gonna have to get like a light out to attract the bugs. I have a friend who is like terrified of moths. Okay, did I do what I came here to do? The Far Oasis. Okay, so we've got the staff. I've got the GameCube. I still need to find the headpiece. Where am I going to find that? We'll see. You know, I'm not going to be sad if there aren't that many cave crickets in our basement, Giver. So if I'll just be like, there's 3. But yeah, I'll see between multiple videos how many I can find. And if I remember to put on the correct shoes to do this. Okay, well maybe if I'm outside then. I can go down to the greenway by the river, and I'm sure there's going to be some bugs there. I'm going to have to let those videos inspire me. Okay, y'all, I am not sure where I need to go now. So this is the Oasis. I really thought that there would be a... Oh, that's my golem. I thought that was a bad guy. Oh my god, that startled me. Oh, okay, I haven't gone up this way yet. Thank you, Giver. You'll just have to keep reminding me. Where are the shoes? Do you have the shoes? Wrangling Stars, if you're still here, your friend is afraid of bugs. I was like, any bugs in particular, or just like all bugs? Oops. Giver, are you afraid of bugs? I do look at my YouTube often. I do. Does he consider butterflies bugs? What about ladybugs? I'm like trying to think of, like, what is the least aggressive bug I can think of that your friend would not be terrified of? You have a bug zapper? Wow, you are hardcore. Okay. We're at the Lost City? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's like the Sphinx from ancient Egypt. What is... Ooh. This is too... Wait, what just happened? Why is it so dark? Why did this happen? Quest log. Ask Drognin about strange darkness. Oh. Yeah, I should get a bug zapper. I'm gonna have to see if I can. I'm sure they sell them around here. Is the bug zapper one that looks like the tennis racket and you're just like, zzz, like you swat them with it and it like. I've seen those. Oh, good. Crunchy bugs and slimy. Ooh, slimy bugs. Ooh, that actually just kind of gave me the chills when I was thinking about slimy bugs. You know what? Okay, I'm not a fan of spiders, but I don't really know a lot of people that are fans of spiders.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get one of those bug zappers. Drognin. What's going on with the dark?
I've been researching this lengthy eclipse, and I believe it to be the work of claw vipers. Find their temple beneath the desert sands, and you may find the source of this curse.
I don't like slugs. I don't like go out of my way to kill them. They just kind of creep me out. I don't know why. I don't think there's a limit to the bugs you could step on. Or you mean like, what would I avoid? Okay, what'd he say? Destroy the serpent altar. Oh, I have to go down there anyway for the headpiece. Yeah, slugs are... I don't know why, they're just so disturbing. They like aren't even aggressive. Okay, do you want to hear a creepy story about slugs? Because I'm just now remembered it. And it keeps me up. I would not go out of my way to step on a ladybug. I don't hate ladybugs. Okay, I'm going to tell you my creepy story about slugs. As soon as I kill these things. Okay, so back in 2016, we were in New Orleans for a friend's wedding, and we had rented an Airbnb that was a shotgun style house. So it's like room, room, room. It's just like a straight house, right? Well, in the back of the house was where the bathroom was and the kitchen. And we left the light in the kitchen on for when we got home from being out late. Well, the light attracted bugs, and so we go to the kitchen, and all these slugs had like crawled up through the floorboards, and there were just like slugs on the walls, on the ceiling, like on the kitchen counter. Oof, just thinking about it is giving me chills. It was... Ugh. It's gross. I did not like it. I had... But that's what happened. I'd never seen so many slugs in my life. Yeah. So that was my first and only time to New Orleans. I'd like to go back. And I will not leave the light on. Or I will get a better insulated house. Or I will stay in like a hotel. So, if you don't want your friend to sleep, just tell him that story. Yeah, I was thinking you can just tell your friend that story, like, here's a horror story for you. It was... I'd never seen anything like it. It was disturbing. You didn't know you were going to get a scary story along with this old game, did you? I'm surprised there's not like evil slug things in this game. You know what? There probably are. I just haven't found them yet. So
I am overburdened.
You know, just keep waiting. Chain boots. No one else seems to be like worried that the sun went out.
Good day.
Everyone's like, this is fine, this is normal. What is this? Okay. Put those on for now. Stash these away for a rainy day. That is pretty scary. What happened? Did you just like bat it off of you? Did you scream? I feel like I would have been screaming.
It is an honor to serve you.
Have you seen those huntsman spiders or whatever from Australia that are like, I don't know, the size of a dog? And oof, oof. Getting chills thinking about that too. Great job, team. Way to go. I fell on my head and I saw it. I've been like, I gotta go home for the day. I cannot stay in this classroom where my life is in danger. I gotta go. I gotta go. Okay, I'm keeping my distance from your dangerous poo guys. Okay, wait a second. How do I... Come back here. What is a cracked unraveler head? Oh. Is that better than this head? No. Maybe? If you saw someone freaking out over a spider, would you be brave enough? Yes. Well, it depends on how big the spider is. Like, if it's like a giant spider that I can't like capture in a cup or something or squish with my shoe, then I'd be like, we gotta go, we gotta run. We're gonna burn this place down. Or I would like hit the person in the head and be like, okay, it's off. You're fine. You're gonna be okay. I don't know, I've been in situations where I've freaked out about stuff, and it's always nice when someone can be calm and be like, I'm gonna help you, you know. It's what we should hopefully do for each other, help each other out. If someone can't deal with it, then someone else who can hopefully will be there to help. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I was out shopping today, and someone was like, hey, how is the spread that they saw in my shopping cart? And I was like, I like the spread, and here's why. I know that's not the same thing as, like, helping them out, but I don't know, like, strangers have, for some reason, usually stop me to ask me things like, I don't know. So I like to think that if I saw someone freaking out, I would help them. Oh. Yeah, well, sometimes, you know, if he's out of town or busy doing something, I take care of it myself. Do I need to sell anything? Okay, let's go sell this thing. Yeah, he knows I stream. He actually was the one who suggested I do it again. He was like, you haven't done that for a long time.
Greetings.
So he's like, you should, you know, stream. Because I grew up playing video games, like with neighbors, and we would all hang out and like work together to beat something, a level or whatever. And so this was kind of like my way of getting back into that, I guess. Right? He's gonna be like, what happened to you? I can hear him in the other room talking to his coworkers, and I'm sure he can hear me talking, so he'll probably be like, what happened today? I can't wait to tell him. He'll be like, there's pretty high expectations, so buckle up. Okay, I think I do use Discord. What is my name on there? Hold on. Yes, he also works from home. So he probably caused my stream to collapse using the internet. When we lived in Seattle, he was out in the field a lot more often. And he still goes out into the field here, it's just not as often. But if like the Charlotte office needs help with something, ancient tunnels. Okay, I'm gonna go down there, but first I'm gonna go up to this other area first. First, I want to go first. Mana Shrine. I will let him know of your wish. Gracious. Yeah, can you send me your stuff in the Twitch as a Twitch message? I know, let me see, I don't want to get your name wrong. Wrangling Stars sent me a Twitch message. Yeah, send me, I met somebody else on a Twitch stream that I talked to on Discord, so I need to just put the app on my phone. It gets a little overwhelming because I've joined like different communities, And I feel like I have to read every single message sometimes, and I'm like, I can't. There's not enough time. But I mean, I read like personal messages, like people like that send me like a DM or whatever, but for like the group messages. Oh my goodness, what is shooting fire? Oh my gosh, what is this? Oh heavens. That was a booby trap. A terrible booby trap. Okay, Wrangling, thank you for coming by and for presenting a challenge. I will keep that in mind. Okay, my YouTube is the same as my Twitch name, Wrangling Stars, but I'll send that to you in a message in case you didn't hear me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, or evening, or whatever time of day it is. Have a wonderful, it's almost Friday, so have a great rest of your week as well. Oh, and let me see here. Wrangling Stars, thank you for following. I appreciate it. And also, Giver, thanks for following. It's nice to have people to talk to as I run around in these games and we talk about which shoes to wear while I crush bugs. I did not see that coming today, so thank you for putting some randomness into my day and for the laughter. And I'm glad I'm not the only one who doesn't like slugs. Yeah, please do let me know what he said. Sorry, I hope it doesn't give him nightmares, but I was just like, that's his worst nightmare, actually, so maybe it will give him nightmares, but when you said that, I was just like, well, let me tell you about this time. Have I explored all of these houses? A chest. More gold. And some pots for me to kick. Boop-a-doop. Yeah, I'm glad I can check off a diversity box for y'all. Oh, I wish I'd found this shrine earlier. Oh well. Oh well. Okay, I'm just going to finish mapping out this area and pilfering everybody's rundown homes. This music. I will. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Do I have room for any dirk? No, I want the dirk and this Vulge.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh, ding dang. I think I'll probably go out, depending on what Nate's schedule is like tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon, or maybe Sunday, probably Sunday. Because, like I said, Saturday we're going to be driving around and busy with family. But then I could do it Sunday afternoon, I think. I don't want to go to the Valley of the Snakes yet, yikes. So hopefully I can do this within the next few days, is my plan, in my mind. I was thinking my portal thing was close by. Oh my gosh, please. No pressure. That's my hope anyway. Kinda depends on Nate's schedule. If he's gonna work a full day tomorrow. I'm trying to think of like where I could film this. I am in the Eastern time zone, but he's still working for the Seattle office, so he usually works later.
Blessings to you.
Hello.
Okay, I will ask. I feel like he has even less shoes than I do. When we moved, we donated a bunch of stuff. Well, when we were thinking about moving, he put in his notice and they're like, what can we do to keep you? And he was like, I want to work part-time from North Carolina. And so they didn't want to lose him, so they made it work. Yeah, it is a dream for a lot of people. Which, yeah. It's like, depending on the work you do. I mean, there were days when I missed seeing my coworkers, but since I worked for a new company, we would like plan a social thing like once a month, like, hey, if you want to meet up after work. Yeah, I will let you know. I'll send you a message when I add you on Discord. Yeah, I never remember my name and stuff on Discord. You sent it to me. Let's see. I have... Okay, awesome. So, Giver, I guess, how did you pick your name, Dare the Giver? Is there a story behind that? Tell me about yourself. You're 27, you've played the Final Fantasy games.
I can't carry anymore.
Can't carry. Oh my gosh, this thing's massive. Yeah, well, you know, moving to a new place, meeting people has been difficult. I got the Bumble app.
Not in town.
And I've met one person we've hung out with in real life, so that's been cool.
It is an honor to serve.
Yeah, it's nice to meet people on here who like to play games.
I am overburdened.
Oh, this chainmail. Drop that. Don't need it. Okay, I think I have broken through everything up here. Smashed all the pots, gone to all the buildings. Now it's time to go down into the ancient tunnels. Time is at 4:30. Okay, that is an interesting story. You liked giving out dares, oh my gosh. I was like, I never do dares. Not since I was a little kid. I don't think. I mean, that's an interesting shtick to have. My name was my like AOL screen name. I ran cross country and my birthday's the day after Christmas. So that's how I came up with my name when I was like in 8th grade. And it's just kind of stuck. Okay, so we've like resurrected the dare moniker, so now it actually has a meaning. Or go back to the daring, so we'll go with that. Oh heavens to Betsy. Oh my goodness, that is like a severed corpse. Gross. I love it. Nothing. No. You're very welcome. I'm glad that you have come by to talk to. No, I ran cross country so I could run away from all of my problems, you know. Growing up as a gay kid in the Midwest, in a religious family, I had a lot to run from. I no longer fear fire. Oh, okay. Spiked shield. What is this thing? No. I mean, parts of my family do. Like the cousin that we're going to go visit. My parents, it's more like they accept it, but they don't like it. Like they didn't come to our wedding or anything. But yeah. But I have really great friends and other family, so but I think it sucks not being close to my parents. I talk to them, but it's not like we ever talk about anything really meaningful. Ooh, lots of gold. I'm really happy that your parents accepted you. That makes me happy to read. I didn't know that about Asian parents not always being... Oh, for sure, I was bullied growing up. Well, and to be quite transparent, my parents also put me in conversion therapy when I was 16. So I was bullied, but I was also student body president and homecoming royalty. So I kind of learned to camouflage or blend in. And I just didn't talk about anything. Okay. My step-grandma, so my grandpa lives south of Seattle. My step-grandma is from China, and my step-aunt is Chinese. But they are very accepting. Actually, my step-grandma came to our wedding, so it was really nice. And yeah, I didn't want to be open about my sexuality, but people knew, you know, and my friends knew, but they never said, they never asked me, like, because other people asked me, like, and I grew up, oh yeah, my husband's family, they came to our wedding. We actually live across the street from his parents, and his sister is lovely, and so yeah, I'm really lucky to have them as family. And one of my best friends, her mom kind of adopted me. My first Christmas in college, my parents wanted me to go back to conversion therapy, and they said if I didn't, I had to leave, so I left home. And my best friend's mom was like, I don't want you to spend Christmas by yourself, so I spent Christmas with my best friend and her family, and I did that for a few years. So yeah, not to be all sad on the stream, but that's me.
I am overburdened.
My story. Some of my story. It's not my whole story. Oh yeah, my brother is wonderful, and so yeah, he was at my wedding with his girlfriend, who's now his wife, and it was just like my parents, and then certain family members, but even like my grandma, my dad's mom, was accepting. I didn't know about it, but I didn't talk to any of my family about it because I was embarrassed. Like I, you know, was like asked to leave home. I didn't know what allies I had in my family, you know, so I just didn't trust anybody in my family because I was like, well, if my parents, you know, aren't going to accept me, then who is going to in my family?
How may I help you?
But yeah, I have an aunt that I talk to, and she's very progressive. My grandpa that lives south of Seattle, he is progressive. I say he was. He has dementia, very advanced dementia, and so he sometimes remembered who I was and sometimes didn't. But then, I mean, I still talk to some of my family, but it's not like we're close, you know, like when we were moving from Seattle all the way across the country, we stopped and saw some of the family, but it's just like, why do I want to spend time with you? It's just because I feel obligated to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, and I didn't give a lot of them the opportunity to be there for me. Like I said, just I had a bad relationship at the time with my parents, and it's still not the best, but no, so my husband, his family is from North Carolina. I do have family here in North Carolina. I grew up pretty much in Kansas, in the Midwest, so like the middle of the United States. I don't know how familiar you are with U.S. geography, but then my grandpa always lived in Washington before I was born.
Yes.
So
Good morning.
So the majority of my family's still back in Kansas, and my brother, like I said, just moved here to North Carolina. Yeah, Washington, like you've got Seattle and like a little bit around Seattle and it's blue, and then the rest of the state, like I remember a really good friend from Kansas City was visiting Oregon and invited me down to see her. So I was driving down from Seattle. Yeah, extended family, again, my aunt. I talk to, my mom calls me every couple of weeks, and I don't know if, I think she's really lonely because most people in the family don't like my parents. I don't know, for sure. Okay, wait a second. Did we explore this whole area? But yeah, it's hard when you grow up in an environment, and I went to church and everything, and
I am overburdened.
you know, it's hard when you grow up in an environment where everyone's like, your existence is wrong, and it's like, what? I don't know how to do anything different. So there was a lot of healing to do. Probably, yeah, the prior. It did make it worse because I couldn't talk to my parents about it, you know. Like, I remember the first time I was in 4th grade, so I was probably 9 or 10, and then a kid in the class older than me, he was also a loner, and come to find out he was gay also, but at the time I didn't know that. Like, I didn't really know what that was, but he was like, you're gay, and I was embarrassed and like, what are you talking about? And then I told my mom, and she was like, well, why do you think he said that to you? And it was almost like a thing of blame, you know, like, well, this is something to be embarrassed about and you need to fix this. And so I just never talked to my parents about anything. No, this was the 90s. I was born in the mid to late 80s. I was born in 1986. So this was like 1995 or this was 1996 because we had moved back to Wichita from Chicago. We lived in the Chicago area for a couple of years when I was a kid. And then we moved back to Kansas to be near family. It might as well have been the 80s. I feel like it probably would have been even less accepted in the 80s, but yeah, there was this other kid. Yeah, no. And even in some parts of the country, it's still not widely accepted. I mean, I don't know if you've been keeping up on what's been going on here, but like, they've had like public drag show bans, and
Stay a while and listen.
there's just a lot of fear, and people are acting out of fear, and it's not good. I guess that's kind of the way I've made peace with it, is understanding that like my parents fear something that they don't understand, and loving them anyway, you know. Yeah. I guess we might be moving to Canada, I don't know. I really liked Iceland when I was there, and they're very progressive, and you know, you said it's a lot of old people in Victoria. I will fit right in. I like the quiet life. I don't want that. What's the spike shield? Oops. What's this do? Unidentified. Okay. Chance to block 30%. Required strength 30. Oops, sounds pretty nice, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did. I don't know, like, I've lived here my whole life, but like, it's not like I have to live and die in America, you know, like, there's a whole world out there with lots of things to see and people to meet and explore in countries that aren't so, hateful. I don't want to see that, you know, I've met obviously lots of great people here. But, like, if people are like, you can't be married anymore, or... Right, have you ever been to or heard about Portugal? Apparently that's the place to retire. I hadn't really thought about Portugal, and then some friends in Seattle were like, that's where we're going to retire when we, you know, retire. We're retiring to Portugal. And I was like, really? And then a few months later, someone else we were talking to was mentioning Portugal, and I was like, what is this about Portugal? What have I missed out on? Okay, what is this head? I didn't know that either. Okay, I still have to find some... Is it further? Where is this stupid thing I'm trying to get to? Destroy the serpent beneath the Valley of... Oh, it's in the Valley of Snakes. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to get to the Valley of Snakes and then call it a day so I can go work out. Oops, I passed the entrance. Oh, that golem. Each time startles me. Oh my goodness gracious. Rude fire tower. Yeah, I was thinking like Sweden, Denmark, Norway, South Korea. I didn't know about South Korea. Okay, so this must be the temple. This has got to be the temple. This must be the place. Okay, I'm gonna go back to town before... Okay, yeah. Ooh, look at these snakes out here. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, I would like to visit Sweden. I did my ancestry DNA, and...
Not in town.
a good chunk of my blood was it Norwegian? I can't remember. It's been a while since I looked at it. Yeah, that's true. About being close to Russia. I'm gonna be stuck thinking about that, but I'm actually gonna wrap up for the day, and I'm gonna go get a workout in and then talk about what we're gonna make for dinner. So but I'm gonna connect with you on Discord after I get off of here. Oh yeah, I did know that about Russia. Like, I'm really thankful that I don't live there, and I think about all the queer people that live in Russia, and yeah, it was really nice meeting you too, and feel free to obviously drop by next time I'm on, and we can continue our wonderful chats, and I'll see if I can get some pictures. Yeah, I'll ask him if he wants to be in the video, and about his shoes. So anyway, have a great rest of your day, or yeah, I guess it's still early afternoon there, so have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.